Hey everyone, in today's video, I want to show you how to easily calculate your Social Security benefit without a fancy calculator, software, or help from someone who probably doesn't care if the information they give you is correct or not, like you may get at the Social Security Administration. But when we finish with this video, you're going to know how to do this calculation on your own and in just a few simple steps. So stay tuned. Hey, I'm Devin, and this channel is all about simplifying Social Security and helping you to learn these rules and use them to your advantage. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss anything. And also, stay tuned to the end of this video, and I'm going to tell you where to get your free copy of the blueprint version of my book, Social Security Basics. So you may be thinking, why do I need to know how to calculate my own Social Security benefits? After all, won't the Social Security Administration give you an estimate at any time? Yes, they will. You can go to your online Social Security account and you can see an up-to-date copy of your benefits estimate. So why would you need to know how to do this on your own? Well, I think it's important for a few reasons. First, it never hurts to understand the mechanics behind an income stream that'll probably be a large part of your overall retirement income. But second, the Social Security Administration makes certain projections about your future income as part of the benefits estimate. In fact, on the benefits estimate, they say plainly, we assume that your earnings will continue at the same level until your retirement age, and if they are different, your benefit will not match the estimate. And then they also say, we can't provide your actual benefit amount until you apply for benefits. This all means that if your earnings are different than their projections, your benefit will not match the estimate that you've been relying on. So understanding how to do this calculation is very important, especially if you plan to retire early or later than normal, or if you have significant earnings changes in the last few years of working. So to do this calculation, there are only 3 steps, but there are some sub-steps within each of those. So first, you'll need to find your averaged index monthly earnings, or we'll use the acronym AIM for this. Then you apply that AIM to the benefit formula, and then you adjust it for your filing age. And don't worry, I'm going to walk you carefully through each step, so it's going to be very clear. And also, don't hesitate to hit pause while you're compiling some of this information or just completing one of the calculations that we discuss. So let's jump in with calculating your AIM. To do this, you're going to need to get set up first. You could use a tool like Excel, Google Sheets, or just a plain old notepad. You're going to need 6 individual columns with plenty of room underneath for all of your information. Set up your columns with the following headings: year, age, actual earnings, indexing factor, indexed earnings, highest 35 years. Now, the first 2 headings are the year and your age. You need to go all the way back to the first year you had earnings that were taxed for Social Security. Now, you can find a complete record of this by going to your online Social Security account and just click the link that says View Earnings Record. Now, if you don't have an online account, it's very easy to set one up, and I'll put a link in the description with a note that says Set up online Social Security account. You can go straight to that and set it up. This may seem a little redundant to put the year and your age, but it'll make another step a little easier. Now you just need to copy down the information from the Social Security earnings history. You'll want to use the part that says your taxed Social Security earnings. And don't skip a year. Even if there were no earnings, just put a 0 in. Once you have all of your historical earnings recorded, it's time to adjust them for inflation. Now, the Social Security Administration uses an indexing factor to make sure your future benefit has kept up with inflation, but is still based on your actual historical earnings. Now, there's an important note here. Only your earnings through age 59 are indexed. All of your earnings at age 60 and beyond are used at face value with no inflation adjustment applied to those. Also, when you're getting your indexing factors, you have to be really careful to use the factors specific to your age. The Social Security Administration will often refer to this big page of factors, and that's for someone else's age. But the easy way to get these is to visit that web page on indexing factors, and I'll put a link to that in the description below, and I'm going to mark that indexing factor so you can click on it and take you straight to it. But at the bottom, there's a box where you'll put the year you turn 62. Now, I know I said that your earnings at 60 and beyond are not inflated, but their system is designed to give you your factors based on your year of first eligibility. So be sure to put in the year you attain age 62 in this box. When you do, you'll get indexing factors that you'll need in the next step. And you're also going to notice that the factor is 1 for the years that you are 60 and 61, and thus no increase. And now that you've gotten your indexing factors, just copy them onto the sheet. Just be sure to keep your years matched up, and once you have all of this written down, you simply need to multiply your actual earnings by your indexing factor. This will give you your indexed earnings. And once you have your indexed earnings, it's simply a matter of finding your highest 35 years of indexed earnings. Now, if you don't have 35 years and don't plan to continue working, you'll have to use zeros. But if you're still working and don't have 35 years, you're going to need to estimate what your future earnings will be and apply the indexing factor just as you would for the actual historical earnings. And that Social Security page will give you those indexing factors. This is where you can start to play around with the numbers to see the various impacts of retiring early or working later, or maybe having variable earnings close to retirement if you want to slow down or if you're going to make a lot of money right before retirement. But once you have your highest 35 years in the last column, you just need to sum them up and divide by 420. Now you divide by 420 because that's the number of months in 35 years, and we need to get average earnings expressed as a monthly number. And once you do this, congratulations, you have your averaged index monthly earnings and have finished the first and hardest step of this entire calculation. It's all downhill from this point. So to keep walking through this example, I've assumed a certain amount of wages and years of work. When I do, the calculation that I get is an AIM of 5,726.02, but yours will be different. This is simply a result of the calculation that I needed to continue this example calculation. So now that you have your AIM, it's time to run it through the formula to see what your full retirement age benefit will be. And let me make another very important note here. This formula is calculated in the year you turn 62. And that's very important because this formula is made up of two numbers that's often referred to as bin points. These numbers change every year, and you have to use the bin points for the year you turn 62 to get an accurate result. Let me show you a 2019 example, and then I'll take you through how to get these for yourself if you don't just happen to be 62 in 2019. So in 2019, the bin points are $926 and $5,583. But the formula is calculated based on three separate percentages of different portions. First, you have the amount up to $926, and then the amount between $926 and $5,583, and then the amount over $5,583. There are three separate portions, but only two numbers. So then you take your averaged index monthly earnings and apply it to this grid. Using the AIM number from my example, the first $926 would be used at 90%. The amount from $927 to $5,583 would be used at 32%. And anything over $5,583 would be used at 15%. And once I've run my AIM through that grid, I simply sum up the far right column, and the result is my full retirement age. It's also referred to as my PIA, or primary insurance amount. But what happens if you aren't 62 yet? In that case, you'll have to forecast not only your earnings, but what the bin points will be in the year you turn 62. And thankfully, it's not that hard because I've put a calculator on my website, and you can find that at socialsecurityintelligence.com/bin point calculator, which is all one word. The first thing you'll want to enter is your year of birth. This will do the math for you to find out how many years between now and when you turn 62. Then you need to put in the current year bin points. Now, I've left this field empty and unpopulated since they change every year, and I want this to be applicable in future years as well. But I have put a link right above that you can click on, go to the Social Security page, and get the current numbers. Just be sure to use the bin points for the PIA formula and not the family benefit formula. Once you have the current benefits plugged in, you need to decide how much inflation will occur. In my calculator, you could choose 2, 3, or 4%. Now, the Social Security trustees believe the average wage will increase at about 4% per year, and this index is what controls the bin points. But you may choose to believe that's too optimistic and want to use a lower number. That's completely up to you, but I can tell you that the Social Security formula is calculating around 4%. Once you calculate, you're going to see the future bin points come up below, and this is what you would use in your formula. Just note that the bin points do change every year, but the percentages all stay the same. One other thing, if you are beyond age 62, you can find the bin points for the year where you were 62 at that same link that we just showed there. So now that you've calculated your averaged index monthly earnings and applied them to the PIA formula, you simply need to figure out how your filing age will impact your benefit amount. The easiest way to look at it is to think about it in annual numbers. Now, I'll hit the monthly numbers as well, but your benefit will be lower if you file before full retirement age and higher if you file after full retirement age. But there's actually 3 separate bands with 3 different adjustment amounts. The red line is your full retirement age. This is where you receive the amount of benefit that you calculated plus any cost of living adjustments that happen between the time of calculation and when you achieve that age. If you file after your full retirement age, your benefit will increase by 8% per year. If you file in the 3-year window immediately prior to your full retirement age, your benefit will decrease by 6.66% per year for that early filing. And anything more than the 3 years before your full retirement age, your benefit will decrease by an additional 5%. Now, a lot of people don't want to retire right on their birthday, so it's important to break this down by a monthly amount as well. After your full retirement age, your benefit will be increased by 0.667% per month you delay. For the 36-month window prior to your full retirement age, your benefit is reduced by 0.556%. And for more than 36 months, it is reduced by an additional 0.417%. And that's it. I know I flew through this information, so don't hesitate to go back on this video as many times as it takes to get your benefit calculated. Also, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. YouTube is one of the few areas where I can still interact with my audience, and I welcome your comments, feedback, and questions. Okay, so the blueprint version of my book can be downloaded for free by looking in the description of this video for the word blueprint, which is going to be followed by a link. Just click that link and you're going to be seconds away from your download. This is the template version of the book that we've had on Amazon that's been a bestseller for a while, and we're just giving away this blueprint version. Also, if this video was useful for you, please hit that thumbs up button so YouTube is going to know that it's valuable content and will share it with others who need to know this information. One last thing, this is your retirement. Continue to learn and stay informed. You can further your learning by watching the video that I chose to accompany this one. It's right here. And also you can subscribe if you haven't already right here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.